The purpose of this video is to show you how to turn a scanned paper bundle that you might have produced already for court into an e-bundle to be used in these new paperless times. In this exercise I'm going to be using the FLBA demonstration documents, but of course you're going to have your paper bundle that you produced in the usual way with page numbers and an index, and the first thing you're going to want to do is put that through your scanner so that you end up with a scanned set of documents. I recommend that you scan in sections as far as possible, and if any section is too large to do in one go, then what you want to do is scan it into several tranches because we can put it back together later. Once you've got all of your documents scanned, you need to save them in one place. I've put them just in a folder on my desktop. And what you'll see here is that you have a series of documents, scan 1, scan 2, scan 3, etc. And I've left the other ones just with the FLBA naming. But section D is an example of a section in two tranches. The first thing to do is to change the file name of each section to say what section it is. So scan 1 was section A, so we'll call that section A. Scan 2 was section B, so we'll do the same, and so on. And what you're doing is you're renaming the scans with the section names because that will then be the bookmark that each section will get. We're going to change the index just to index, but we'll leave section D as it is for now because I'll show you how to alter that later. Now open Adobe DC Pro and you'll be presented with a screen like this. And the first thing we want to do is go into the Tools repository. So if we click on Tools, you'll see now all of the things that are set up as standard that this can do easily. But we want to combine files because we've got a series of PDFs that we want to turn into one larger PDF. We do that by selecting Add Files, and then we navigate to the folder with all the scanned sections in them. Pick them all up, select them, and click Add Files. And you'll see they're now in the list. We want them reordered, so index goes at the top, we select it, and use Move Up to get it to the top. We can move a few sections at once by selecting section A, holding down Shift and selecting section C, and then moving all three sections up where they belong. Check everything's in the right order, and if you're happy with it, click on Combine, which will now turn your separate PDFs into one large PDF file. Let's have a look at what we've got. If you click on the Bookmark tab, you can now see that we've got one file with each of the sections with their names from the files from before as a bookmark that you can jump to. And here we see, for example, a scanned document, and you can see you can't select that text because the machine doesn't know what's there. So the first thing we want to do is save this document, and then we're going to sort out the text so it's readable by the computer just like it is by us. To save the file, select File, Save As, and then you're going to want to navigate to wherever you want to save it. But first you can choose if you want to reduce the file size. That can reduce the quality, but is often very helpful. So I'm going to put it into the same folder as everything else, and we're going to call it Court Bundle. Once we've typed in the name, we just click on Save, and then we've got our document saved. I would recommend that you save periodically as we keep going, just as you would with a real bundle. Now, the next thing we wanted to do was make the machine able to read it just as we can, so go into the Scan and OCR tab. Because these are documents that have been through the scanner, we're going to use the Enhance feature for scanned documents. Your scanner might already do OCR, so check with your IT team, but there's no harm doing this anyway because the computer will recognize if it's already OCR'd. So once you've selected Enhance and Scan Document, just click on Enhance and the computer will get to work recognizing what's on each page and finding all the text. Might take quite a while, so you might want to go and have a cup of tea at this stage. Here's the settings screen. If things go wrong and it looks a bit low quality, you can go to lossless, which means you shouldn't have a quality decrease on your scanning. If you didn't want to use that function or you run into problems, Recognize Text just looks for the text but doesn't do any of the other enhancements to a scanned document. Check you're in English. Your settings, I tend to go for Searchable Image Exact because that doesn't change the underlying picture that you see, and leave that alone. I'll use OK for my standard settings, and then recognize text would do the same as the enhanced scan document. But the net result is you will have a document when the computer has finished that the machine can also work out the text, and you can cut and copy and paste the text in the same way as you would in other computer documents. The next thing we want to do is make your bundle more user-friendly. So let's go have a look at the index, and this would normally in your version be your printed index. And of course on a real bundle it wouldn't just say A1, A2, A3, it will be A1 to A20 or whatever in the usual way. And what we've got at the moment is a document where you can jump into the sections, but we actually want to be able to jump to each document in turn as well. So to do that, what we're going to want to do is leave the index alone because that's already bookmarked. But if we jump to section A, you'll see we don't have any cover pages here. So this is both the first document in section A and the jump mark for section A itself. But let's select the title of the document. This might be chronology or whatever. And if we select it, then hit Command B, you'll see that the text you selected shows up under the bookmarks, and you can just drag that where you want it. I recommend reducing the size of the pages on the screen so that you can then scroll quicker and find the second one. Now, highlight the text again. You can do it instead of Control B, you can go and just do right click, add bookmark. And you'll see again the text you highlighted is what it's calling that bookmark. But let's call this one chronology for the sake of argument. It's in the wrong place at the moment, so we just pick it up and we drag it in under section A so that it sits in the right place.